going on, y'all? Shout out to the Black Squad. I am Kenyatta Black, and this is yet another episode of Convos with Kenyatta. Convos with Kenyatta, Volume 13. Before we get into it, make sure you are following me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram so that you can have access to content that you will not get on Facebook or YouTube, such as Kenyatta's Thoughts, where I give my thoughts, commentary, and opinions on certain trending topics, as well as the Live with Martin Swartz series that seems to be everybody's favorite series. When I get to 100 followers on Instagram, I will go ahead and upload all 18 volumes of the series. You are sure to love the Live with Martin Swartz series. That is hands down everybody's favorite series. And of course, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and click that bell icon to make sure you're getting all notifications for when your man drops a video. So without further delay, we'll go ahead and get right into this one, because this will most likely be a quick one. You know, I've been seeing that meme all over Facebook. Let's turn this around here. I've been seeing that meme all over Facebook, you know, with men poking fun at the gender crisis, I guess you could call it, that women are dealing with the trans digitals. Trans digital women claiming to be real women. You know, you had Jess Hilarious and Tasha K going back and forth with a couple of trans digitals. One of the trans digitals even threatened Jess Hilarious, talking about, you know, there's more than one way to bleed. Which I believe is totally crossing the line. Was dude's name T.S. Madison or something like that, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but I think his name is T.S. Madison. And yeah, I'm referring to him as a him, because that is a fucking dude in a wig, and I don't play that game. You want to live your life however you choose to live it, and pretend to be a woman. Well, you are a grown person, you are an adult, and you can do as you choose, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to play pretend along with you. And I too am a grown man and a goddamn adult, and I can do as I choose, and I choose to refer to you as what the hell you were born, a man. So, you know, dude, T.S. Madison, I think that's his name, you know, threatened her, saying, you know, there's more than one way to bleed. And again, that's crossing the line, you know. But listen, the point that I wanted to make, the message that I wanted to deliver, was that, albeit it's been a little fun, I myself have enjoyed sitting back and, you know, watching the ladies squirm a little bit and be confronted with the problem that they brought on themselves, because they lacked the foresight to see what was going to happen before it happened. When we told them what was going to happen before it happened a long time ago, told us to mind our business. They thought they could form some sort of alliance with these people. Now they are finding out the hard way that that is not the case. So it's been a little fun to sit back and watch them cry and complain and, you know, have to compete with them in sports and whatnot. You know, I believed I was right here in Connecticut in one of these track meets maybe a year or two ago. Like, you know, it was two transdigitals. It was two transdigitals that won first and second place in some sort of, I don't know if it was a 100-yard, 200-yard dash or what it was. And by winning that, they won some scholarships to a college. You know, obviously taking two scholarships that should have went to biological women. You know, it's gotten so ridiculous that you've got, you know, people seriously arguing back and forth about something so ridiculous as, you know, what is a woman? You know, but my point tonight, my message tonight is it's time for men to step in and put this baby to bed. And here's why. Matter of fact, I should have turned this on. Yeah. That should be a little better. Bring up the quality of the visual. It's time for men to step in and put this baby to bed, and here's why. Have you noticed how the transdigital, what would they be? Have you noticed how the transdigital men, you know, transdigital men, because it can get very confusing, right? At least off the top of your head. Transdigital women are men pretending to be women. Transdigital men are women pretending to be men. Right? Have you noticed how the transdigital men are absolutely silent? They're not saying a word. Not a peep. While the transdigital wannabe women are running around here saying, you know, transdigital women are real women, making the claim that if a heterosexual man doesn't want to have some sort of relationship with them, that he's transphobic, claiming they can have periods. All kind of nonsense, right? I mean, they are really pushing the envelope. They are holding the line and pushing the envelope. Meanwhile, on the other side of the battlefield, I'm using these words for a reason. I'm trying to paint an analogy for you. On the other side of the battlefield, the transdigital men, you know, the women who pretend to be men, they're silent, quiet as church mice, holding their position. Get where I'm going with this? It's kind of like the pieces on a chessboard, or the regiments on a battlefield. You don't move all your pieces at once. You don't move all your regiments at once. when it appears as though the transdigital women, these men pretending to be women, when it appears as though they've accomplished what they set out to accomplish, when it appears as though they've won the argument with the women, that's when these transdigital men, these women pretending to be men, that's when they're going to move in on us, gentlemen. So, although it's been fun, sitting back, laughing, cracking jokes, making memes, we as men it is our job and our responsibility, our obligation even, to have and apply what we call foresight. Foresight is the ability to see what's going to happen before it happens and respond accordingly. Now, given the fact, given what I just explained, it's time for men to respond accordingly. It's time to put this baby to bed. I've been saying for a very long time now that all the problems in this society, all the issues in this society, everything that men complain about, so on and so forth, could be fixed overnight if men would put their foot down. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. I believe somebody said the rainbow community only makes up about 3 to 4% of the American population. You know, obviously they are a small number of people. They're not. They're a small number of people. They're just very loud. That's all. They're just loud. You know, like that dude at the party. You know, that's about to fight somebody. He start getting real loud and hollering and taking off his hat, taking off his shirt, handing his cell phone to somebody. Hold my phone, yo. Hold my phone, yo. Just loud. He really don't want to fight nobody. He's scared. He's scared, and that's why he's so loud. Because what he's hoping is if he gets loud, it'll scare you. It'll scare you enough to where you won't want to fight. Or if you do get into a fight, you'll be scared in the middle of the fight. That's like the Rainbow Mafia. There's a small number of people who just got a big mouth. And even if, man, you know, look, we are men. We built the world, we shaped the world, we maintain the world. None of this shit moves without us. Period. So when the big, bad, toxic, misogynistic men like myself, when we put our foot down say enough is enough, you two break it up. You go back to being a woman. You're not a fucking woman. Cut the bullshit. When we step in and put this kid to bed, the argument is over. And we need to do that before it appears that the trans digitals have won their argument with the women, because as soon as it appears as though they've won their argument with the women, that's when the trans digital men are going to move in on us. And for the time being, it would be in the best interest of both men and women to at the very least call a timeout to this gender war and handle this issue that's right in front of us. Because this issue that's right in front of us, if it's not handled, it's going to have long-lasting negative effects. You cannot allow an entire society to be plunged into gender confusion and think for 1 second that that society is going to last. That society is not going to last much longer. And we've seen this movie before. We saw this movie, same thing that's going on in America right now, happened in ancient Rome. Damn near exactly what happened in ancient Rome is happening right now here in America. You see, it didn't work out too well for them. And I believe the same thing happened in Greece as well. Can't allow a society to be plunged into any type of confusion, any state of confusion. Gender confusion, that is a whole nother beast. So like I said, it's time for men to step in and put an end to this argument, put an end to this foolishness. It's time for us to step in and be very vocal and very unapologetic, and not giving a damn about people's feelings. And yeah, there's going to be, as we see, there are still plenty of women who still don't get it. You know, you've got women like Jess Hilarious and even Tasha K, you know, who are beginning to speak up about this. And as I'm sure many of you have seen in various comment sections on social media, you've got a mixed crowd of women. You've got a crowd of women who get it and are on Jess Hilarious and Tasha K's side. And then you've got a crowd of women who still don't get it, and they are on the side of the trans digitals. But when we as men step in, like I said, man, we built the world, we shaped the world, we maintain the world. None of this shit moves without us. And everybody knows it. Period. And of course, we all know what is the ultimate trump card of men. We all know what the ultimate trump card of men is. What men is. We don't need to say it. So that's my message for tonight. That is my message for tonight. It's time for men to step in, put an end to this foolishness. Because, like I said, if you notice, the transdigital men, these women pretending to be men, they're on the other side of the battlefield, quiet, holding their position, waiting for the signal. It's the only reason they're quiet. It's the only reason they're quiet. Do you really think for 1 second that if and when the transdigital women win their argument, do you really think for 1 second that right then and there, immediately, the transdigital men aren't going to move in on us and then start to claim that transdigital men are real men? That they too can make babies? Start making all sorts of ridiculous claims? Then you'll begin to see the argument switch to, or the question that will then become, what is a man? Does anybody really know? I mean, so, like I said, laugh now, cry later. Laugh now, cry later. It's been fun. It's been fun to sit back and watch this and laugh, because when we tried to warn these women, they didn't listen. So we said, okay, you didn't want to listen, all right, we'll let you handle it. We'll let you handle it, and we've sat back long enough, and we've laughed, we've cracked our jokes, we've said our "I told you so's." Now it's time to step in and take care of this mess before it becomes our problem. And mark my words, it will become our problem. But that's all I care to say on the issue. Thank you for tuning in to yet another conversation with Kenyatta. I surely appreciate it. Shout out to the Black Squad. Listen, man, if you like the content and you want to support this Black Squad platform, go ahead and bless the Cash App, $Black Squad. It is in the description box and it is pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. Make sure you all subscribe to the channel. I'm happy to report that my subscriber count has gone up a little bit in the last week. I appreciate the subs. We're going to keep flying this plane, and we're going to keep building this plane while we fly, baby. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. So until next time, and there will be a next time, I am Kenyatta Black. Shout out to the Black Squad. Deuces. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to the